Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out of here before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. There are live free picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and to deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's meet the cappers, and we get right to the picks because we don't mess around here on the Drive-Thru. Let's go to Kirk. Kirk, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing today?
Doing all right. Looking forward to the NCAA tournament games. Some excitement today. Got some baseball as well. Rod, what's going on?
Not too much, Tony. Getting excited for the last college basketball game of the season. Sad to see it go, but definitely excited for the game because it should be a good one. Back and forth till I think we see a few lead changes before it's all said and done and the dust settles on crowning the national championship. So let's get to it. NBA 2 games. Seen a couple games yesterday. Good job on the Lakers. Definitely good job on that one. I definitely got that one wrong. But as I said, Houston made a statement and said, "Hey, Golden State, you can play a little more basketball." I love that Houston squad there, and that one over the Warriors. That one should have been the premium play thrown in there yesterday. But hey, still, hopefully you tail it because they definitely made a statement. Hey, don't forget about us here in the West as well. We're ready to make some noise in the playoffs. So can't wait to see the playoffs. NBA should be good. Once the playoffs hit, this minus 20.5 nonsense has got to go.
Oh, yeah, it will. Of course, Rockets there with a little chirping back and forth there with the Warriors and then Green. Of course, Doko got in there with said some derogatory things towards Steph Curry. Something regarding needed a bodyguard. He needs a bodyguard. Something to that. Green used some choice words against him at halftime. That was pretty funny. Let's say hello to Brian. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, winning day yesterday, 3-2. The Detroit Red Wings and Colorado Rockies and Nebraska got it done. But those Minnesota Twins were up like 6 or 7 runs, and they blew another one. I tell you, the Minnesota Twins are kind of like the Nashville Predators for me this season early on in baseball. I just keep taking a loss. And you know me, I don't just give up after one loss. It usually takes a few.
Yeah, so. Just give you some weather updates. I just see they're taking the tarp off of Boston right now. I know it looks like they will get the game started in the Boston game with Toronto beginning about a little more than 40 minutes away. So tarp coming off the field. We got some live shots here at Washington. Looks like that game is going to start. No precipitation yet. Some bad weather forecasted.
Crappy weather up here on the East Coast.
Bad weather forecasted there. So we'll talk more about that when we get to the baseball segment. Let's go to Javon. Javon, what's going on?
Yeah, another productive day, 4-2. Can't really complain about it. You know, my only baseball play hit. I had the Marlins, but they got rained out. So, you know, San Fran got it done for me once again. You know, riding that wave has been profitable, and another profitable day in the NBA. You know, so I wish I would have been more confident in my Lakers pick on the morning show, you know, because I definitely wasn't really confident in it, but I did, you know, lean in that direction, you know. So they got it done in a big way, you know. So
I thought for sure you were on the money line the way you were talking about. I thought for sure you were on the money line on that one.
I mean, you know, it was mixing in some parlays, but it didn't make the single bet list.
Well, you could have done the old
one of the throwaways.
A 2-team parlay fading the number 1 seeds would have made money. Kings get the win, and the Lakers get the win.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did say that, right? There will be opportunities to take money lines on these clinching teams. You know, with nothing to play for. We saw that recently with Memphis beating Detroit. Detroit clinched, and you know, what did you expect was going to happen? Happened, right? Detroit, the first time. I can't remember the last time they were in the playoffs. I said back in the 90s, but I know it was sooner than that. But it seems that way, the way they've been playing horrible basketball of late. Let's say hello to Wayne. Wayne, what's going on?
What's happening? Solid day overall yesterday. Played the day here with Indiana winning outright. Also was on the Kings plus the points, but just letting you know that baseball's back. Just a week or so ago, I'm going 3-3, losing 60 to $100 because of the juice I'm on. But now I can go 2-3 and be plus money hitting these dogs in baseball. So definitely excited for baseball being back.
Yep, dog hit today with the Detroit Tigers. That was a nice one. Boy, Rodon. I don't think that was a. I don't understand.
We're doing on the road.
Yep.
We're doing on the road.
Don't overrated.
Massive over. Oh, that Yankee pitching staff not very good. Boy, some of the guys.
He'll get cooking late in the season though, and he'll get us back later in the season. But early on, definitely a fade. Overrated.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's go to Joey Tron. Joey, what's happening?
What's up, Tony? How you doing? How was your weekend?
Weekend's good. Weekend's good. Ready to roll here for this week here. That championship game, more baseball on the road, and last regular season week of the NBA. So looking forward to the playoff playing round next week primarily. Then 2 weeks from this past Saturday, we'll start the playoff weekend there, right? With the 4 games on Saturday, 4 games on Sunday. We're still not too far away from that. A little less than 2 weeks away from starting the full-blown NBA playoffs. But looking forward to that. Let's go. Let's get right to the business here, guys. We're going to start right with the championship game, right? Why don't we here? Because that's the big one today. I can't start this show with those NBA games. NBA, I'm sorry, he didn't. Usually we give you the first spot, but you don't deserve it today with this schedule. So we're going right to Florida and Houston here. We see Florida here laying a point here. Total sits 140.5. And let's get this slot underway here with Kirk.
Yeah, it can only be Houston for me. It seems like Walter Clayton's the only one carrying Florida late in the game. And Houston late in the game, they showed up. They clamps late in the game. I think if someone else besides Clayton doesn't show up, this Florida team is going to have a really tough time against this physical Houston team. I think Houston cuts down the nets at the end of the night.
Kirk there on Houston. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, I like Houston here in the first half of this one. You only have to. This hasn't budged since it's opened at the Florida minus the half point here in the first half. I'll take Houston plus the half point here in the first half. You look at the tournament games so far. Well, Florida's 1-4 in their first halves in these tournament games, and then you look at on the other side of things. Well, Florida or Houston. When you look at this total, when it's 65.5, 70.5 in first halves, they're 13-1 in those first halves. And when playing second game in 3 days, 4-1 in that first half. This is that spot that I like Houston to have the lead heading into the locker room. And it should be a good one. So give me Houston here in this first half. Lean to an under there in the first half, too. Lower scoring, slow paced there as well. It was at 66.5. It's come down, actually, in that first half to 66 as well.
Here from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, I got a premium on the side, but as far as the total goes, this morning when I was looking, it was 141.5 across the board. Now we're seeing some 140.5s pop up. People love to bet the over in games like this, and you have offense versus defense. Houston, one of the best defensive college basketball teams in college basketball, and they're 7-2 and 2 to the under, whereas Florida, I think, is 9-1 to the over. So you got two totally different teams facing off. I think defense is going to be the focus of this game, so I'm going to take the under 140.5 here.
Yeah, from Brian. All right, next up we move right on over to Wayne.
Yeah, I'm the sucker on that bet because I'm on the opposite side. I like the over. Florida hasn't sniffed 140 all season, and I think the narrative is Houston's defense. And their offense is under talked about. They're better than what they've shown, and they can adapt, especially to a defense like Florida, who's not a top defensive team, slightly under the top 100. But I think the offense continues to shine for Florida. I think Houston can get off on offense, even if what Rod says lays true. It's a slower start, kind of filling out the first half. I think the points definitely come on the second half, and at 140, all we need is some late game fouls, and we're right over that number. So I'm going to take the 140.5.
Yeah, from Wayne. All right, next up, we move right on over to Javon.
Yeah, we're gonna go with what's been working in the, for these Florida Gator games, which is they start off slow and you're gonna fade them. That it cashed last game, it cashed in a couple different other times during this tournament. And then, they made adjustments and they've, carried it through. But in that first half, I'm going to fade them. It's really as simple as that. I'm just going to echo what everyone else has said. those who have spoke about the first half. And I'm gonna roll with the under first half. We're gonna see, we're gonna see Houston dictate the pace. That's what I believe is gonna happen. Just like they did against Duke, just like Auburn kind of did in the first half against Florida. So all that combined, it leads to me back in Houston in the under, and then Florida, they're gonna have to make some adjustments for the second half, and we're gonna see what really happens, with this Florida Gators team.
Right there from Javon. Next up, we move right on over to Joey.
I have a premium on the side, but for a total here, I like the under. National championship games are 13-6 to the under the last 19. I think Florida's going to try to control the pace, but similar to what everyone else has said, I think that's going to be Houston's department. Houston's 22-15 to the under all season long. I think it's going to be a back and forth game, and I really think this one stays under just by a little bit of a whisker, in my opinion.
Yeah, from Joey saying what I think here about these games. I'm going to look here at the Florida side. This is a team that you look at the side-by-side comparisons for this tournament. Each team has played 5 games in the NCAA tournament. Florida shot 47%. The Cougars just 41%. When you look here at the Ken Palm ratings, these teams are in dark green, except one spot here. That's with Houston with 2-point shooting at 49%, sitting 292nd in the nation from 2-point shooting. So you defend the threes. You got a shot at getting this done here for Florida. And one thing that really caught my attention here, the Gators against Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee went 6-1 straight up. And that when I see that, I just can't get off. I just can't get off the Florida side. I like Florida in this one. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. As you get ready to turn our attentions over to the NBA here. Of course, we're heading down the home stretch in the NBA. The season is over. Last game will be on Sunday, so we're down to the final few games. Let's get to the card tonight. We've got a 2-game card here from the NBA, so we'll knock them out here in one block. And in this schedule tonight features the Kings and the Pistons. Sacramento here, our dogs here. This one's come down. We saw 7.5 earlier this morning and overnight here. Pistons down to 6. Total sits here at 230. And in the Sixers and Heat, we've got the Heat here 12.5. Total 216.5. Let's take a look here at the injury report for these block of games. Kings and the Pistons. Murray and Lavravi are out. Keon Ellis is questionable. Of course, the Kings on a back-to-back. Detroit rested here. On the Detroit side, we know Ivy with that broken leg still out. Tobias Harris and Duran are questionable. Philly and Miami, Drummond, Oubre, Yabusele out. Lowry, Edwards questionable. On the Miami side, no Adebayo, no Jovic, no Love, no Stevens, no Wiggins. Highsmith is questionable. So let's get this one underway here with Kirk.
Yeah, tough slate of games, but I'm going to lean towards the Kings in this spot just because they're coming off a big win yesterday. They're half a game on the Mavs, and they have some momentum. They've won 2 in a row, which we can't really have said for a good amount of the last month for the Kings. They've been kind of all over the place. They win this game, they probably lock up that 9 seed, I would assume, and get the home court advantage in the 9-10. So I think the Kings +6 is the play here.
From Kirk. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, and in these 2 games, I just like the Heat here in the first half. Lay the 7.5. You look what the 76ers do in that first half. Both these teams played a lot of basketball. This will be their 6th game in 10 days. So a lot of basketball for both these squads. We've seen the 76ers in that first half, 2-12 ATS in that first half. Well, the Heat in first half of games, 6-game, 10-night spot, well, they're 13-2 ATS. So I think the Heat got themselves a nice little 10-point lead at the break. So I'll lay the 7.5 there with the Heat in that one. With a lean to the Kings there to get the job done there. They got something to play for. Pistons we've seen lay down and got outrighted a couple games ago. So Sacramento got something to play for. Got to kind of ignore that 2-6 in the second half. Back-to-backs this year have been the Kings. So completely ignore that stat when they got something to play for. So I'm with Kurt lean to the grab the points there with the Kings.
Yeah, from Rod on over to Ryan.
Yeah, yesterday me and Rod were pretty much going opposing directions, but today we're pretty much simpatico for the first couple. I think the Sixers are a bunch of gutless losers. I mean, normally I like a team that doesn't cover. I think they're due or the number's really inflated, but I'm going to ride here with Miami. They have winnable games the last 4. against teams that are pretty crappy with the Bulls, Pelicans. I think the Washington Wizards on deck. So I think they take it to the Sixers team, even with the depleted lineup. The Sixers just they're ready to hit the golf course.
There we go. Cancun time there for Sixers, according to Bryant. So next up, we move right on over to Wayne. You're on mute there, Wayne. Oh, you shut him off completely.
I'm with the fellas. I'm gonna ride with the Kings. Kings play well against the East. Kings also play well as away dogs, winning those games at a 55% clip. And even when they don't cover, they only lose by like 4 or 5. So the point differential is kind of in their favor. But the spot does scream Detroit. Kings also, as they pointed out, in rhythm, mainly offensively, playing a lot better defensively over their last 4, looking like they have something to play for. Want to continue to rise up and play in. So give me the Kings in this spot.
There from Wayne. All right, next up, we move right on over to Javon.
Yeah, yesterday on the morning show, I think I might have been the only one that backed the Kings yesterday, but not today, not tonight. Second night of a back-to-back, we're gonna roll with the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham, that would it be his second game back if he is playing. This is the time where you want to start gearing up for the playoffs. Detroit, it'll be the first time in a long time going into the playoffs, so they're gonna want to show out a little bit at home, especially with their last game against Memphis being a loss. As of right now, they're not going to rest anybody. They're too young to rest their players in the last week of the season. Or the last week of this regular season. So I expect the Detroit Pistons to get the job done in a big way.
Yeah, from Javon. All right, next up, we move right on over to Joey.
Yeah, I'm with Javon here. I like the Pistons. I think this is a get-right spot for them. The Kings might have won back-to-back, but they lost 7 of 8 prior. Like everyone's saying, this is a big game for the Kings, and I just don't trust them to come up here for this. The Pistons are 21-4 straight up following a non-conference game, winning by a margin of 8 points, and I think they win by 8 or more here as well. So lay it with the Pistons.
There from Joey. Say what I think here about these games here. We're going to split on this game, but I'm going to be on the Kings here plus the points. Again, looking at the standings here, right now the Pistons sit in the 6th seed with not a whole lot to play for. They have a game back in Milwaukee for that 5th seed. I still think they're probably going to push for that to stay where they're at, the 6th, and not risk injury because you got guys that are banged up here for Detroit. I don't see why you play them. Maybe limit minutes at this point. We're pretty deep, very late in the season here. Sacramento trying to get that home court here for that 9 versus 10. That's their ceiling is a 9-10. None of these teams at the bottom, Kings, Mavericks, and Trailblazers, Suns, I should say, are nowhere near. Matter of fact, they were eliminated last night. Portland and San Antonio were eliminated last night. So it's just the Kings, Mavericks, and Suns going for that 9-10 right now. And of course, the Suns 2 games back. But I just think the Kings can solidify their shot here as hosting that 9-10. There, so I'll look at them in this spot with a little bit more to play for. I like that what I saw from them against Memphis in that spot, and I think that's probably where their minds are. Just it's a long, grueling season. You're about 70 plus games into the season right now. When you look at Detroit's have played 78 games right now. So I think it's probably time to turn it off a little bit and maybe scale it down a little bit. Let these guys rest up for the playoffs, because if they would have clinched a little earlier, I could see them trying to get into form now, but. It was a late clinching for the Pistons, so I look for them to just get into a little bit of rest mode and probably limit minutes for their starters against a more motivated team. Remember, their starters, the Kings starters went 40 minutes, which tells me that their mind is really on getting things done here. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through as we turn our attention now on over to Major League Baseball. 10 games left on the card. We'll do 2 blocks of 5. So let's get the games up for you right now. Major League Baseball here for this Monday, and some of these games could be impacted by weather. I kind of just gave you a little update on the weather. Looks like some of these games out east will at least get started here. So here we go with the baseball tonight. We got Cardinals and Pirates. We got the Cardinals $1.13. Total sits here at 8.5. We got Blue Jays and Red Sox. Red Sox $1.25. Total sits at 8. Dodgers and Nationals. Dodgers up to $1.73. Total is 7.5. Of course, Dodgers had to visit the White House today, go to the pomp and circumstance, had lunch, I guess, over there, and Oval Office visit. So their afternoon was pretty much tied up there in Washington. We got Marlins and Mets. The Mets 263. The total here coming in at 7. And let's see where we close it off here in our last game here. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I get one more to go here. Okay, we're going to go Twins and Royals to close out the first block. Royals $1.10, a total of 8. We get this one underway here with Kirk.
Yeah, I was at that Red Sox game last night, and their offense is just starting to go crazy right now. I mean, everyone's heating up. Devers is heating up. Brayu's getting MVP chance early in the season. The Red Sox look like they're playing really well, so I'm going to keep the Red Sox wagon going here. I'm going to take them on the money line and lean toward the run line at the plus 160 price as well. I don't know if the game will be played because it is pretty gross out here, I would say, Jovan. I don't know if you agree, but yeah, I think if the game gets played, the Red Sox win this one.
There we go. We do have 74% chance of rain. We just saw the tarp come off the field about 10 minutes ago, like they were going to get ready. Same thing with the Washington Dodger game. Looks like they're going to get that one started, because both of those cities are, Washington and the Red Sox, are high percentage chance of rain there. Next up, we move right on over to Rod.
Yeah, so the only game I'm looking at here is that Washington game. If it does go, I like the under in that game. What we've seen from May in his first start was pretty good. So expect him to have another good start. Maybe the bats from the Dodgers are going to be a little bit tired. They didn't get an afternoon nap, and you're on the other side of the country. So having to get up early to go do the White House thing, probably not what some of those guys really wanted to do this morning here on a Monday. To do the whole White House thing and have to eat a Big Mac with you-know-who. So probably definitely not where they were excited to go here on a Monday. So, yeah, pomp and circumstances there. Definitely the Big Macs were all laid out for everybody to have themselves a Big Mac there in that one. So it's I like the under, and I also lean to the Washington Nationals there with Gore on the mound at a nice plus price because you've messed up the Dodgers schedule in that one. So an under and lean to Washington there in that one.
There from Rod. All right, next up we move right on over to Brian.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good Big Mac for lunch? I know I would love a good Big Mac. But as far as this game goes, I don't know if I just have a tendency to always go against the Dodgers, but the Washington Nationals plus 1.5 looks good to me here. I mean, their starting pitcher only went 2 innings yesterday. Their bullpen got used pretty heavily. You got the Washington Nationals here with Mackenzie Gore. That's their best chance to knock off the Dodgers. He's been pretty good to start the season, and his spring training numbers were pretty solid. So for me, I know I'm playing it safe here, and I know some other people just take the plus money, but I'll go plus 1.5 Washington Nationals here.
There from Brian. All right, safe at home. Next up, we move
taking
on
a safe way.
Yeah. Oh no, wait.
Yeah, it looks like we are all playing the same tune today. I like the Nationals just as far as these games and the value goes. Not a May guy. Do respect Mackenzie Gore and just love the value on this spot. And then paying that Dodgers premium tax with one of their better pitchers on the mound. So I don't want to lay that kind of number with the Dodgers here. I'll take the Nationals.
May is their 5th starter, so that's interesting. 5 aces. You're giving them 5 aces there, Wayne, and he could be ace quality at the end of the day there. There from Wayne. All right, yeah. Next up we move right on over to Jawan.
Yeah, I'm on. Well, I do agree with the Washington Nationals full game. Just on the strength of plus money and who they have on the bump in this one, but because of that, I'm gonna split this game in half and take the Washington Nationals money line first 5. I think that's the best course of action. I don't want the bullpen ruining a solid start from Mackenzie Gore. With the Dodgers visiting the White House and all that hoopla, I think that might mess with their schedule for the day, what they usually go through their routine on a game day. So that kind of plays into how I'm looking at this one, and I think the first 5 is the best course of action. I'm also on the Red Sox, just rolling with their hot bats, their little winning streak that they have so far, And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep on rolling with them until they, get a loss. Now, the pitcher matchup, it probably speaks to Toronto, given the fact they got a young stud on the mound in this one, who pitched solid in his last game or his first start. But that doesn't really matter to me. I think the Red Sox bats are hard enough to get the job done. It was wet out there when I came in just a little while ago. Not raining, a lot of mistiness in the air. Who knows? The heavens might open up and it might be a rain out. But as of right now, it doesn't look like there's any rain, so I can see why they took the tarp off the field. And I would also be on the Royals in this one. It's just Minnesota's not right now. Their bats are weak. Real light hitting ball club, and when you can't get a win and you scored a bunch of runs, and you didn't take advantage of the bats finally waking up, you're in trouble. So I think that bleeds over to tonight, and I will be on Michael Lorenzen and company.
There we go from Joanne. Live look right now into Philly. Clear weather. So far, no rain. May's warming up. Redhead Stepchild warming up here. Getting ready for this one. So it looks that to be the case. Of course, they did start that Yankee-Detroit game with snow coming down. If you happen to watch that game, it was snowing at the beginning of it. Next up, we move right on over to Joey.
Yeah, just one for me here, and I agree with Jovan on the Royals. Twins scoring is inconsistent. One day they're scoring 7-8 runs, next day they're scoring 1 run. Their team average is under 200. They have a .315 slugging percentage. KC, they hit the ball with contact. They have 18 doubles on the year. Get a couple walks, hit a double, you get some runs. I think this will be a close one, but it favors Kansas City. So give me the Royals on the money line, but it'll lean towards the under.
Yeah, from Joey. Tell you what I think about some of these games. Yeah, I like St. Louis here. I don't like this Pittsburgh lineup and their bullpen and their starter Medlinski here going here for Pittsburgh. Doesn't figure go very deep in this game, and that will tax their bullpen once again for this Pirates team. Pittsburgh's been a terrible coin flip team at home. When they're lined at home by between plus 125 and minus 125, they lost 17 units the past 2+ seasons. So I have nothing to do with this Pittsburgh team. 33-50 in these spots. Cardinals have hit 301. Yes, they had a rough time in Boston, but they hit the ball over there. So their bats have been hot to start the season. So give me St. Louis in that spot. Marlins, we're in that Marlins Mets. Yeah, Marlins Mets, give me the under. I mean, this Mets team can hit, but they're pitching like crazy. Fantastic pitching performance here by the starters as well as the Mets bullpen. Give up just 5 earned runs in 35 innings. The Miami bullpen has been good. The Mets have gone under in 7 of 9 this season, so I'll take the under there with Miami and New York. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. So close out baseball with these final 5 games here on the schedules. The one that we'll take a look at here will be Rangers and Cubs. Cubs $1.23, total of 6. Total 6. The wind is blowing in right now at Wrigley. At least the last check it was 20 miles an hour. Let's see here. Next up, do we have the next up here? Wait, here we go. Astros and Mariners. We've got the Mariners $1.58, total of 7. Orioles and D-backs. D-backs $1.18, total 8.5. Reds and the Giants. We got the Giants here $1.43, total 7. And the homeless A's are back in there, back in Sacramento. In there here, and that's where we've seen a lot of runs scored there. Back in their shelter in Sacramento. The Padres favorite $1.58. Total comes here at 8.5, and we get this one underway here with Kirk.
Yeah, I don't know. This Cubs-Rangers game, I'm going to lean towards the over just because it's at 6. If we get 3-3, the over automatically hits. Evaldi has been stunning to start the season, but Steele, on the other hand, hasn't been that great. I think we at least hit 6, if not go over. I could see a 4-2 game. So in this time slot, I'm going to take my chance on the over 6 in this one.
From Kirk. Next up, we move on over to Rod. That's taking a chance there with that win.
Yeah. And in this, you finished all the way to the end, right? With the good old Severino going, hey, Severino, that's up to a plus 145 now. A lot of money coming in on the Padres. So give me the homeless there in that one at the plus 145. I think Severino can deal himself a half-decent start, and the homeless, even if it comes into a smash fest, can get themselves a win there in that one because the overs have been money in those ones. But I think the homeless get themselves a win there finally especially that price move. I don't want to back the Padres there in that one. What we've seen from them on the road so far, not pretty. Overachievers now getting overvalued there in that one. So give me the A's there. And then the other one I like in this time spot, give me the under 7, Houston and Seattle. Logan Gilbert, hey, he didn't look his greatest in that first start, but I expect him to deal in this one. And the Astros, even with Wisniewski going on the mound, he didn't have his greatest start either. But here in Seattle, we know how much offense their bats have been hitting, not a whole lot. So the only guy that's been hitting is Julio. So I like Julio to get a home run there as well for Seattle. But take the under 7 in that one. And then Zach Gallen, hey, his first start home definitely burned a lot of parlays and burned a lot of people's money there in that one. Well, guess what? You get your money back. Takes Arizona and Zach Gallen there in that one to have a little bounce back at home. We've seen that last start out on the road. He looked real good. I think he just gets better and better. It's his third start of the season. And at home in this one, I'll take Arizona on the money line in that matchup.
Yeah, from Rod. Next up, we move on over to Brian.
The Cubs-Rangers game, last time I looked at BetMGM, I see a lot of bets and money coming in on the over in that game, but I'm starting to see some 5.5s out there. I like the under 5.5 at plus money. I know Justin Steele has been getting rocked, but I think this guy's got one of the best arms in the National League, and he's going to start playing to the back of his baseball card. This is going to be perfect weather to get a nice shutout performance. Texas got Evaldi on the mound. I think he can keep the Cubs under control. So I'm looking at a really low-scoring game. I'm going to take the under 5.5 Cubs-Rangers.
Yeah, from Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Wayne.
Yeah, we have 2 average teams at the moment. Record-wise are below average, but one's getting prices if they're undefeated, and that'd be the Seattle Mariners. I understand with Gilbert on the mound, but I'd take my shot with Houston here. Wisniewski is a pitcher who can bounce back from getting exploded on. He'll come back and have a decent game. Not saying he's going to throw a shutout, but he'll limit the Mariners, who's not a great batting team, to a limited score that gives his team a competitive chance to win at this plus 140 price. So I'm going to definitely take Houston in that spot. And I like to over Arizona-Boston, a game that typically goes over between these two bats. Sometimes it gets overvalued when the pitching matchup looks decent, but I think the Orioles can get to Gallen enough, and Eflin can definitely get hit by Arizona, and these bullpens are playing not bad, but they're not playing great. They're going to give up a few runs to get this one over 8.5, so I'll take the over in the Baltimore, Arizona.
Okay, from Wayne. Next up, over to Javon.
Yeah, I'm on the Rangers in this one. I liked what I saw out of Nady Eovaldi. Complete game shutout in a 1-0 affair. You know, he's one of those hard throwing guys that when he's on, he's definitely on. And with the weather conditions out in Chicago, I think he's gonna have a lot of swing and misses in this one. On the other side, Justin Steele, a pitcher who I respect, who I have backed plenty of times in the past. I'm not really worried about his struggles in his first 2 starts. If he gets lit up in this one, then it's time to hit the panic button for the for those guys over in Chicagoland. I'm also on the under in this one. I would preferably like to take it first 5, but I would say full game as well in this one. And I'm gonna roll with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen's on the mound. Last time we saw him in Yankee Stadium, he was shutting those guys down. That vaunted lineup. So I think he can come back home and do it against Baltimore.
There we go from Javon. Next up, we shall move right on over to Joey.
Yeah, I like the first 5 under between the Astros and the Mariners. I don't think either team hits the ball that well, in my opinion. But when the Astros do hit the ball, that's against bad relievers, not good starters. Logan Gilbert, he has a 3.00 ERA in his last 7 starts against Houston. Houston's 5-3 to the under in the first 5 this season, and Seattle's 6-3 to the under in the first 5. I think this one stays under, and I'd even be tempted to take the full game under as well.
From Joey, tell you what I think here about some of these games here tonight. I like the under in Houston-Seattle. Gilbert, when favored at this price range, between minus 125, 175 at home. 13-2 the under. He's an under pitcher because we know Seattle games, you have a lot of these 2-1, 3-2. I've seen a lot of Seattle games because they're always the late night games. A lot of 2-1, 3-2 games. ton of those all the time. This one could be the same thing as well. Seattle hitting just 172 at home. Houston 216 overall, but the Astros bullpen has been outstanding. Mariners bullpen has pitched well at home. Mariners 5-1-1 the under at home this season. Stros 5-3-1 the under for the season. I like the under in that one. Give me the Giants. They've just been the hot team right now. Their bullpen's been strong. They're 8-1, returning 7.5 units, and they're hitting the ball. 301 at home. The Reds away from their hitters' park, just 198 this season. All right. Also, give me the Intent City and San Diego. I like the under in that one. I'm sorry, not the under. The over. The over.
You like the under?
No. I don't know.
What?
I misspoke. I was thinking this game was bad. I think back to the give me the over. Padres and the homeless. They're in Tent City. I like the way this ball's hitting. They're hitting the ball in that minor league park. It's flying out of there. And you got the Padres bats in there. Yeah, give me the over there with the Padres and the homeless. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru as we flip on over to the NHL for tonight. So let's get the NHL card up for you right now. We'll do it all in one swoop here on this card tonight. Here, let's see what we get here to NHL lower third. All right, let's go. Let's get the NHL covered here. We got Lightning and Rangers here. Lightning $1.50, total 5.5. Blues and Jets. Jets $1.85. First place Jets here, total 5.5. Flames and Sharks. We got the Flames $2.10 on the road, total 6. Oilers and Ducks. The Oilers $1.39, total of 6. Kraken and the Kings. Kings $2.27, total 5.5. A lot of late night tonight on the ice. And we start this block here with see if Kirk's got his skates on tonight.
Nope. No.
Skates,
Been a while, but still not ready.
Waiting for the playoffs to come. There we go. Next on Rod.
First one I'm looking at here is I'm going to take a shot here with Seattle in this one. Seattle, you look at their last 2 games, starting to just they got nothing to play for, right? Some of these guys playing for a job next season, not like they're going to make the playoffs. Kings, hey, they're been absolutely money at home, and everybody's jumping on the Kings here in this one. That line's just completely went all the way up and just keeps going up. I don't want to lay that kind of price here with the Kings squad that might not be as motivated as you think. Oilers looking like they're injury-wise just going to limp in. I don't think they can catch Vegas here in this one, so I'll take a shot with Seattle at the nice plus price. Another one I like here at the nice plus price is the Ducks. Looks like Oliver Rodriguez is going to get the start for the Oilers here in this one. And the Oilers missing a lot of guys. No McDavid, no Draisaitl, no Ekholm. And you're starting a goalie. He has started in the NHL before. It's not like this is his first start in the NHL. But the Oilers need to test this guy. If Skinner's not ready to go for the playoffs, well, you need a backup. So that's why he's in there. And the Ducks have already beat the Oilers 2 of the 3 meetings this season. So give me Anaheim in that one. And then one more big plus price. Hey, this St. Louis Blues team continues to roll along. Winners of 12 straight hockey games. And with Hofer going in goal for the Blues, he hasn't got the bulk of the work on this 12-game winning streak. But in his last 5 starts, he's been absolutely Mr. Money. Winners of 5 straight of his starts, where he's sporting a 179 goals against average and a 921 save percentage. And against the Jets this year, he loves playing the Jets. 1-0-1 against the Jets this season, where he's sporting under 179 goals against average against the Jets. So why not? Not getting to jump off the Blues train. Also, look ahead spot for the Winnipeg Jets. Why? Because they played the Dallas Stars, where is their next game up. Dallas Stars have 1 game in hand on the Jets. And also, that's head-to-head for who's going to win the Central Division in that matchup. So, Jets look-ahead spot give the Blues to win their 13th straight hockey game tonight.
There from Rod. Next up, we go over to Brian.
I could be a big wuss here and take the Ducks plus 1.5. I mean, it's minus 200. If you look at the Ducks numbers, they're 51-25 ATS, and the Oilers like 27-49. So maybe if you need something to toss in a parlay, that Ducks plus 1.5. But I'm gonna, as far as plays go, I'm gonna take the Ducks on the money line. Like Rod said, they've had pretty much luck with Edmonton 2 out of the last 3. This is my kind of team, the Ducks. Even though they're eliminated, I like them at home plus money on a Monday night. I think as far as free picks go, that's the best one on the board.
They're starting to look like a team now, these Ducks. Next up, we move right on over to Wayne.
Yeah, one of my favorite spots, no matter what. Rangers at home, off a loss as a home dog in a revenge spot against the Lightning. Just got to take it. That's an auto pull for me.
Auto pull there from Wayne over to Joey.
Yeah, I have two plays for hockey tonight. One of them is with Wayne on the Rangers on the money line. Not going to repeat what he said, but most importantly, the Lightning are 1-4 their last 5 road games. I do not trust the Lightning at home. Inside of Amelia Arena, they're phenomenal, but on the road, do not bet the Lightning. And the other one I'm looking at here is the under between the Jets and the Blues. I think this is going to be a really great game. Like Rod alluded to earlier, Blues have won 12 straight, looking for their 13th. I think this is going to be a great goaltending battle. I think it's maybe a 3-1, 4-1 type of game. So give me the under there, and I think the Blues win as well.
There from Joey. Okay, we got you through the NHL. Now it's time for our parlay peripheral segment where our cappers can give out a parlay. They can give out a peripheral play, a team player prop. They make the call. Game of the future. They make the call in this segment. So let's get this one underway with Kirk.
I'm going to take Houston on the money line and then the Kings with the points. 2-teamer.
2-teamer there from Kirk. Next up, we move on right over to Rod.
And we're going to go on to the NHL, and we're going to take the Ducks. Back in. Little 2-teamer for you.
There from Rod. Next up, we move right on over to Brian.
I'm going to go with a massive 4-game parlay here. I'm going to take the under in the Houston and Gator game. Then I'm going to take the Nationals plus 1.5, the Ducks plus 1.5, like I talked about earlier, and then Cubs, Texas Rangers under 5.5. A little 4-teamer there.
For a little 4-teamer there from Brian. Next up, we move right on over to Wayne.
Yeah, I like this 3-team all-dog parlay. We're going to go to MLB. That'll be Houston Astros plus 140 and grab the Nationals as well. And you can go to the NHL and throw in the Rangers for a 3-team all-dog parlay for the night.
There from Wayne. Next up, we move right on over to Joanne.
Yeah, 2-teamer for me. We're going to roll with the Sox and the Royals. That's the Red Sox, that is.
Red Sox from Javon. Next up, we move on over to Joey.
All right, it's not a parlay, but I got 2 futures for you. The first one is Penn State college hockey to win the Frozen Four at plus 380, and then Colin Morikawa top 5 for the Masters this weekend.
There we go from Joey Tron. There you go. I'll tell you what I think here in the parlay. Sacramento Kings with the Astros Mariners under, and the over with the Padres and Tent City Athletics there. So there you go. You got my 3-teamer there. Now it's time to see what the Cappers got going over at Pick.com. Headed to a big week of action here with, of course, NBA close out the regular season, hockey as well, Major League Baseball with these big cards coming up. Let's see what Kirk's got going over at Pick Dogs. Kirk, I know we got Champions League happening this week as well. What do you got going on?
Yeah, Champions League tomorrow, National Championship tonight, NBA ending, MLB starting. So a lot to go. Got a 3-pack up tonight with my best bet in college basketball, best bet in the NBA, and best play in the MLB. So hop on board that or hop on something long-term to get a crazy week of sports here.
That's right. But with Kirk over at Pick.com, let's see what Brian's got going over at Pick.com. Brian's put together a fantastic past 12 months, 2,600 units of profit. What you got for sale?
Tonight, my best bet is in college basketball. My titanium play, 8-3, last 11, 73%, $25 at pickdogs.com. Or if you want a play that, if you want my NHL play, I got my strike fours out there, 15-5, last 20 in the NHL, ranked number 1 at pickdogs.com for NHL profit 2 years in a row. So head on over there and pick it up. Or maybe get my Players Club. You're going to get my NHL best bet, Major League Baseball, and college basketball, all 3 for $50 at pickdogs.com.
Okay, again, we're with Brian over at Pick.com. Let's take a look and see what Javon's got going over at Pick.com. Javon's put together a solid year in the NBA.
Yeah, and looking to no NBA tonight. You'll see me on the hardwood tomorrow in the association. Number 1 in the NBA handicapper for the year. Has been like that for quite some time, and tomorrow we'll look to increase that profit. As for tonight, got the side and the total for the national championship game. Also have one more Major League Baseball play in pocket. We already got one win, under our belts with the Detroit Tigers. So jump on something long term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. yearly. Don't miss out on any of this action. Or match me with one of the other handicappers for the multi-capper promotional. You can't go wrong here at Sports Chat Placing Pick Dogs. Let's get it.
Get on board with Javon. You see the great results there. So get on board. Long-term pass away to roll. Let's see what Rod's got for sale over at Pick Dogs. Rod's put together an impressive college basketball over 4,000 units of profit. Looks like Rod got it frozen. I guess he froze up over there in North Canada there. So he's frozen up. Let's see what Joey Tron's got happening over at Pick Dogs. Joey, what you got?
Yeah, I got 3 plays for tonight. My NCAA championship game slam dunk. I am 6-1 my last 7 college shoot plays, and then I have 2 MLB, 1 side, 1 total. Use the code PICK for 15% off, and you can get all 3 in my Trons trifecta for $45 tonight.
Trifecta right now. I got Joey over at Pick Dogs. I got a best bet on the board right now. College hoops. I've hit every best bet since Tuesday. I've been red hot with that best bet. So get on board with me over at Pick Dogs. Or get on board with my long-term pass, 7-day passes that are buying the plays individually. Best way to roll. Use the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-cap promotion. Match up with your favorite cappers over at Pick Dogs and get signed up. All right, we're with you guys here Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. We've got a great YouTube channel here with lots of content. Of course, we'll talk to Kirk here. Kirk, I know you over at the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. We've seen content from soccer. Occasionally, you drop in some baseball and some NBA you've had in the past.
Yeah, as you alluded to earlier, big week of soccer. Had Champions League quarterfinals, Europa League quarterfinals, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then about 50 games over the weekend. So if you like soccer, you'll be seeing a lot of me this weekend over on the channel.
Check the channel out for Kirk with that soccer. And, of course, we'll see where we went to Brian here. We already know what Brian's got. Let's get back to the screen here. Rod's still frozen. Brian, I know you contribute as well over to the YouTube channel with your video series. Of course, we'll catch you on some of those weekend shows.
Yeah, about to record my sharp betting contrarian prediction for tomorrow as soon as we get out of here. And I try to show up on the weekends to argue some plays with the guys and hang out. And definitely a good time, so you guys check it out.
I see that you have that hat near you, so I wonder if that will be part of that video. We'll have to tune in tomorrow and check it out if that hat will be worn by Brian or not, because it's right next to him. And, of course, we got our man Javon. We catch you here on the drive-thru. Of course, you got your video series with those parlays, and we also got on those weekend shows.
Yeah, and I got one up on the board, a 2-teamer, video short up on the website or up on YouTube. So check it out. And I'm here on Mondays and Fridays as usual, and then go over to the weekend shows, and I'm on there per usual Saturday and Sunday.
Very good there from Javon. Of course, Wayne, you keep an eye on the boxing for us.
Yeah, boxing, and I didn't get to go over what I had for tonight, but I go over real quick. Just one in the NCAA, of course, the championship game, and one more in MLB play of the day. But as far as boxing goes, all right, yeah. So with that being said, I had a 3-pack. Started off good with the Detroit, but it's no longer there, obviously, because the Detroit game is on. But I do have my play of the day still left in MLB and championship game. Got my play in that as well. Looking forward to tomorrow. MLB and NBA back with a bigger card. Grab long term for several different reasons. You get extra plays, like for the ones who get a package, you're not getting all the cappers plays. It's also normally the cheapest option instead of getting it pack by pack, play by play, and you beat the line. So you get the plays immediately when we bet them, when we drop them, you get those plays immediately. So long term is always going to be the best option, but if it's not for you, I do have an individual out for you guys.
There you go. Check out, get on board Wayne over at Pick Dogs. And of course, he got us up to date on all actions there on the ice. Of course, Joe, you keep an eye on NASCAR. So what we got for Wayne? Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, as far as boxing, big fight this week. I'll get to a quick. Stagnonis and Ennis. Fight not to go the distance is plus 125, and I like for that fight to not go the distance. Also looking at Ennis to win by stoppage. I do believe Stagnonis corner throws in the towel before the 12th round.
There you go from Wayne. Of course, Joe, you keep an eye on that NASCAR circuit.
Yes, sir. We had a great race this past weekend. We cashed Denny Hamlin to win at plus 650, William Byron top 3 at plus 235, and Chris Bell top 5 at plus 185. This weekend we're at Bristol, so I'm hoping to keep up the momentum and give you guys another winner.
Very good. Of course, we can now some injuries. Murray and LaRavia out for Sacramento. Harris and Ivy out. Duran in here for Detroit. Cunningham also in there tonight for Detroit. And let's see if there's any other news here on the NBA side. We're still no changes there from what we said earlier. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We're back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. each time. So make sure you like, subscribe, and set those notifications. All right. Before we roll, anybody have anything to say before we close it out?
Sweep the board.
Sweep the board, guys. Have a great Monday. Goodbye, guys.